art lovers, welcome to the Art Bit. In today's program, we're going to be having a chat with Judah Mkandawire. If you know the name, you know we're talking a bass player. We're talking about a trainer who is also a multi-instrumentalist. At least that's what I'm calling him. All right. All you have to do is be there. Do not go anywhere. Tell another art lover that Art Bit is on your screen. The name is Chisoma Yoenda. Please do stay with us. Judah, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
Yeah? Very well. Okay, all right. So I was telling people we're going to be having a chat with a bass player, a trainer as well. I just want you to briefly describe yourself because then we're describing you, but from the, Gumastandi. But now you yourself just describe to us briefly at what is it that you do.
Okay. Yeah. Where to start from? Okay. I'm a bass player, a musician. I'm a jazz man from Malawi. But yeah, I'm an instrumentalist. I play the bass professionally with different artists, recording in studios. For Mawambi, I think people know me as a bass player that performs with different artists. But I also tutor people different instruments apart from the bass.
The bass.
All instruments apart from my extra. Like trumpet, sax, I only teach the basic instruments like the piano, guitar, bass, drums, yes. Yeah.
Alright, amazing stuff. I just want us to briefly go into your journey itself. I know nobody was born and then realizing, I can play a piano, I can play a bass. You know, how did you find yourself in such kind of spaces, and then you're performing with big artists, trainer, and how did you even get to that?
I started playing, actually learning in 2010.
Okay.
2010. It's been
15 years now.
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's a fully grown teenager.
I know. Yeah, I started playing in 2010. It's a friend of mine actually who actually encouraged me and pushed me to do it. Bass in church, I think the best place that a person can actually be exposed to music
is church.
Is church.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started learning Dirigu Nzuzu. I was living in Nzuzu back then with my parents in 2010. So I started learning at church, and it was my friend that was encouraging me. Then a few years down the line, I think around 2014, 15, I came to Lilongwe. Dalemba myself, So around that time is when I actually got to meet other people that actually helped me grow. One of them is my older brother, because my brother is a musician as well. He plays all instruments.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to guess based on the surname. It should be what? Sam?
Yeah.
Jura Mkandawire. Okay, all right. So basically, a music family.
Yeah.
Don't be humble.
Yeah. So he encouraged me. He pushed me to he introduced me to other people that would actually help me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I just kept on growing with other friends, playing. Then that's when we started playing with different artists. But Kwambili, church has really played a huge role.
I hope you still play at church.
Yeah, I still play at church.
Okay.
Every Sunday.
Alright, amazing stuff. So briefly, I just want you to, from 2010 up to now, I'm going to briefly just tell us, which artists have you performed with in the country, as well as because I've seen international artists perform in Malawi, but they're using bandi. I'll get into that a little later, but just mention it to that because it's very fascinating to watch.
I know. So, I've played with several, quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I'll just mention a few. I've played with, I play currently with Praise Omari.
Nice.
Onesmas. And then there's Paul Kachala, my own brother as well.
Yeah.
Sami Unjura Mkandawire. I've played with, who else? There are quite a lot. Saint, before, I played with him before, and Teresa Pondo, I played with her as well. Yeah, and different other artists, even local in the gospel local side. I've played with Abwanaloid P, you know, the likes of Toko Gadimba, Maremu Grace Chinga back then. Yeah, when I was just starting. So yeah, the list goes on.
Yeah, that's definitely a very long list.
But I've been playing. Oh, actually as well, KBG Kelvin before.
Yeah,
I used to play with him as well.
Nice.
It's one of the first artists that I actually got to play with. Yeah.
Any international artists?
Yeah.
Okay.
Played with Fireboy from Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. All right, that's quite a catalog you have there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely amazing. So. Like I really want to understand. I don't know how it works. It's my artist ambili my genre Oceana, by Afro, by reggae, by gospel, ya local, by gospel, ya urban, all that. How does it work in Indian artist? Now approach Judah. I want you to play bass in my in my performance. Guy, Lake of Stars. How does that work? I'm sure you played even for artists talking but also as a Velego, but you have to play for them. How does it work basically? Take me from your creative process from scratch. Could you approach play for a performance?
Okay. So I can't really go into that without also mentioning Antamini Maimba now, because it's a whole process. That involves a lot of people in the band. So currently, I think I am in two bands.
Okay.
One is called Fresh Art. It started with KBG back then. Yeah, and then the other one is called The Fourth Mode.
Okay.
So normally with Onesmus, band made in Maimbira Onesmus is Fresh Art.
Okay.
Then the fourth mode, the Antamini Maona Zuguimba Ndiboga Jala. So yeah, those are two different bands. So the work ethic is kind of the same, but they're also different. Based off of the artists that come and they're like, someone talk about if it's the first time for us performing with them, Pamakala an issue of listening to the songs and then discussing what type of performance is it going to be? Is it like a festival? Maybe it's high energy.
Yes.
If it's a corporate, you know, irritated, so you try to tailor the same music, you know, is high energy. You just try to tone it down a bit, and then go on so it depends on the event. Yeah, and sometimes the audience as well. But the process of actually learning the songs, okay, these are the songs. Sometimes we play as the song is. Sometimes we change the arrangements, improvise based off of the event
itself.
And the vision. Yeah, artist yakavanga.
Kuri nyimbo inaimba yabayize koma ndifuna anthu
take out nyimbo inali ya slow koma ndifuna ikali ya reggae. You know, so we'll work towards that. So normally Bamakala a music director who will now like arrange the music and delegate parts. This is your part as a bass player. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what the artist is looking for. Then Mabanga. But personally, at home, I try to practice. I'll listen to the songs, take notes of what I'm supposed to do, my personal parts in the song. So we'll take a bit of rehearsal. Everybody knows what they're doing.
Oh. Yeah. I am learning, trust me. I'm in a classroom right now. Alright, so getting into the best itself, what role does it play in a song, Kwambidi, in music itself? You know, Zina Omangova, she end product. Hey, go best. But like, what does it have a specific role that it plays? Because the thing is, but end product, hey. Comment so gaicho soma tsakumamboti nimbuikubebuka so egera jage
basir mani nati kubebuka.
Right.
But it's a simple but hard question at the same time.
Yeah.
It just really depends on the genres as well. Because in different genres, Pamakala, like some songs that are piano driven, the other people hear the piano more.
Yeah.
Mwina guitar driven, dirty guitars more. There are a few songs that are actually bass driven and like that,
yeah.
but then there are songs only the bass is outstanding and stuff like that. But normally, the bass just gives what we call a groove, or like in sync with the drum. It brings in, because the bass and the drum sync in a lot.
Okay.
And the synergy, the syncing in of the drummer and the bass guy brings in elements of groove, and groove is what makes you you know, like what's making you feel
vibe,
vibe and all that. So the best description of what a bass does in the music, I think, is just the groove and just the rhythm and stuff like that, because it gives it a platform for with the drum as well, so that the other elements, when they come, they'll sound nice and stuff like that, but it's sort of like a backbone.
All right, so far, what would you point out? It might not be one or two, but the performances that you look back and you're like, or maybe a song, since you're only not doing performances, even recording itself, if there's a song that you're like, hey, when we attended and I got best.
Because I think for the recording, sometimes you tend to forget. Because it's like, okay, you record and then
you're not even sure if you're gonna use it or not.
Years later you listen and you're like, oh,
that was me.
It sounds familiar, you know. So I think I can't recall really which song that I recorded that I like. But I think for recording, I've recorded Kwambili gospel songs. So I would say Mwina Ma'alba Mantu and stuff like that. So I'd be like, one of the performances that I actually enjoyed was the Moinera worship experience, Pause.
That was
live
amazing.
Recording.
That was definitely amazing.
You know, I enjoyed that definitely, because it was one of those on out here in Zanga.
The passion is like on 100.
So there are different performances that I've actually enjoyed there a lot, but I can't really start pinpointing to them.
Okay, all right. Understanding that, you know, things that we do, challenge that you look back and you're like, guys, I think I'm working hard in the wrong country. What could you point out as the challenges that you face as a best player, as someone who plays for a band, you perform, you do with a lot of musicians, you do with a lot of music producers, you do with a lot to do with the industry itself, music.
Challenges. Obviously every industry has its challenges. But I think the challenges that I've personally faced Kwambili with performances, I'll start with performances. Then I'm an issue of not having the right equipment that you desire.
So you to have end product.
Yes, so it compromises the level of what you have to do for an event, because you can practice that will actually help our performance, but when you get there it's like 10 tingo guis and chilo.
Kodi, when you go, you're not going with your personal bass guitar.
Okay, you can carry those, but then pamakama elements
the sound system.
The sound system itself. The piano, the drum that's there. Of course, kunja people carry. Okay, we call them the backline. The backline is the instruments that we're using. So that's like the backline besides the PA. So it's my take. I would like, as a band, the drummer will come with his own drum set. Winners and stuff like that. That's like high-end performances and industry out there.
True.
But here, it's a few people that actually own personal instruments, like your own bass guitar, guitar, or pianos, keyboards. So normally we depend on what we're gonna find there, and when we get there, sometimes it's substandard, but it's a whole festival. You know,
still have to perform.
You still have to perform. So at the end of the day, you just work with what you have. So it sometimes limits output. Could okay, this is as far as I can go. Yeah, so but you work with what you have. I think that's the first challenge, really the biggest challenge that me and my colleagues have faced when it comes to performances and all those things. And then Bamaka, my challenges in the studio. I've never faced any challenges recording in studio, really. Because it's normally like, hey, I say much of the you go and then, you know. But the only challenge is when I'm talk out, late payments.
Yeah, right. You know? Welcome to Malawi.
I'm telling you, late payments and just disagreements and not trying to be on the same page on what we're gonna do and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, Judah, who would you say inspires you when it comes to bass? It might not even be bass. Just my instruments. The people that you look up to. If they are there in Malawi, you can mention them. If they are not from this country, I'll be disappointed, but you still mention.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
brother.
Yeah, he is good. Honestly,
yeah, he really
he's really good. Shout out to Sam Jira. You're amazing.
Shout out. Yeah, he really is good. He really is good. And the Mata Ephraim Chira, Jambora. We all know him as Jambora. He plays with Namadingo, Patience Namadingo. And he has been here for a while and he's like...
He knows his stuff.
My ancestors, our godfathers. Yeah, so yeah, he really is an inspiration because... yeah.
Okay. Alright, Kunja alipo na mwina that you're like, hey, mama guy, you fit it and
yeah, alipo Kunja, if you in Africa, if you in the US, I think it just changes with the seasons and time
as well. Yeah,
like, yeah, when you grow you realize I think that's not the sound I'm personally looking for. So you seek inspiration elsewhere. But they've changed over the years. Right now I think I'm still trying to look who to look up to out there. But yeah.
Okay. Alright, amazing stuff. You mentioned you also train people to play instruments.
Yes.
I've tried to learn, but I think in the Alright, yeah, so when did you start that? So how is it going for you so far? Are we having a crop of people that are willing, that are like inquisitive to learn how to play instruments? So how does it work basically? Just take me through that.
Okay, quickly, I started teaching a while ago. I said, I wasn't out there like that. It was just demand from people and all that. So I had few students along the way. I actually used to teach at a school. I've taught at a few schools as well. Preschools, Manasarea. One of the schools that I've actually worked longer with is a school in Area 3. It's called Happy Trails.
Okay.
It's an amazing school. So I taught there for like a year and a term. Didn't go there a whole academic year and one term. Yeah, so I used to, most of the kids that I taught, even part-time, I got from that school. Even after I stopped teaching there,
they were still
seeking for my services. But then besides that, I started teaching adults as well, individuals. It's only this year that I actually released the post, posted on my Facebook.
We saw that.
Yeah,
actually, that's when I knew, he also teaches.
Yeah, so recently, Sivanate Soro Mezi. So I just released the post. I'm like, okay, it's high time that actually I can actually market myself like that. Of course, people know, but I think it's different when you actually market yourself. So normally I offer packages, different packages, and all that. Suri, how much do you charge? I'll tell them, but I offer packages, and it depends on the person that I'm teaching, because I can't charge the same for a beginner and intermediate, advanced. So the prices are dependent on, are tailored to the levels. So they're different packages. They just want to understand a few things. So I have packages for people like that. And already they're starting from scratch, no idea at all. Different packages as well. Yeah.
All right, amazing. So that's any instrument apart from drums. And achina saxophone, chani,
so that way sizes.
My violin. All right, I hear you. Judah, this part is the part that I'm excited, because I've been looking at this guitar and I'm like, can you only do the thing you want to see? I just want us to show. I just want you to show us a little bit of your stuff. Give us a piece. I don't know what song you're going to perform. Oh, na kudu vankabla GE we perform.
Okay.
As we're wrapping up our chat, there are a lot of young people. You are a young person doing all this amazing stuff, at a very young age. There are also young people who they've always loved music. They've always wanted to be doing this stuff that you're doing. They don't even know where to start from, I just want you to talk to that group of people. They're like, hey, my name is I don't even know where to start from,
It's quite easy. I think Yengozama Sigwan with social media, YouTube, online lessons, Coursera.com, Alison, you can learn from different sites in the comfort of your homes. You don't really have to go out there. Of course, business. But yeah, just to encourage some on the really they've always had the desire. It's not too late to start. So I just encourage people to actually just information these days is easily accessible. Like and you can watch a video, try to emulate. I think the only challenge would be personally. But if you really have access to instruments from church, friends, and the like, or if you have the financial muscle, you can buy instruments and contact me to teach you.
Of course.
And then YouTube busazi kutandiza
here and there. YouTube University.
My AI alivo or my so we're there to clarify a few things and just assist people.
Alright, asazanami kuri tinaganiga kukhala kubanga enhance skill yatu when people like you are actually
of course
there. Alright, Judah, thank you so much for having us. I enjoyed the chat. I enjoyed the piece that you played. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it.
And that's all we had time for in today's edition of the Art Beat. Today we were having a chat with a bass player as well as a trainer. His name is Judah Mkandawire. I'm sure you've learned a thing or two, and if you need more lessons, please make sure you reach out to him and see what you can learn. I mean, kupuzira sigumata. I've been Chisomo and many thanks to you for being there. Until next time, stay creative.